military killed in Iraq over the weekend. And support for the war, as you know, is shaky. All the polls say the majority of Americans are now against it. Fox News analyst Michelle Malkin just back from Iraq, and she also has some comments on Hillary Clinton, as does Fox News analyst Kirsten Powers. Kirsten's here in New York. Michelle is in Washington. Michelle, what'd you learn in Iraq while you were there?
Well, I learned a lot. It was a short trip. We were there for a week, embedded with the Dagger Brigade in northern Baghdad at Forward Operating Base Justice. And as I say, it was a short trip, but we got a first-hand look, my hotair.com colleague Brian Preston and I, at the hard work of counterinsurgency. And what we heard from the troops is that this is not something that is a short-term commitment. They are in it for the long haul. And, you know, when you listen to the mainstream media coverage, the daily death count and the bomb explosions and the horrible things that are happening, you don't get a true full sense of the work and the small baby steps and progress that are being made. Iraqi civilians who are cooperating with our U.S. troops, Iraqi army, brave people, both Sunni and Shia, who are joining the Iraqi security forces, trying to stand up the army there and trying to stand up to a lot of the corruption and a lot of the bad stuff that is going on in the Maliki government. I think there needs to be not only the military commitment there, and certainly the surge will help, but also more political pressure on the Maliki government to crack down on Shiite death militias and not just the Sunni insurgents.
Well, Maliki's got to know he's only got a few more months, because we live in a two-party system, and one party is now hell-bent on getting out of there. So anything, you know, Maliki's got to know this is it. This is the last chance. All right. Hillary Clinton, as we just discussed with Terry McAuliffe, is in it to win it. No surprise. But now it is how much abuse she is going to have to take. This is what happened on Saturday Night Live. Roll it.
This week, I will introduce a resolution calling for a greatly speeded up withdrawal of U.S. forces.
I get it, but what about those Democratic primary voters who are still upset about your initial vote for the war?
Chris, I think most Democrats know me. They understand that my support for the war was always insincere.
All right. So this is what I can't predict. If Obama is going to make a serious run for it, and he's got Soros money behind him, it's going to get pretty vicious if history follows itself. And, you know, they're going to go after her. That's going to damage her in the major run, will it not?
Well, I don't think it's pretty dangerous to get vicious in a primary, in a Democratic primary. It doesn't mean that's not going to happen.
Well, look,
and I think I know we just heard Terry say that it was going to happen. The Bush-McCain thing. We just heard it, but you know, if it's the question is whether or not you can do it without actually having it come back to you. If you can do it anonymously, or if Obama has to take the hit for it, that's going to hurt his image, because
he's not going to have to take the hit for it.
Everybody likes him. They think he's a nice guy.
I know that, but he won't have to take the hit for it, because the Soros-funded smear sites don't operate that way. They just go after you, and you know that. You know what they do. And if they crank up to go after Hillary Clinton, that's going to get nasty.
Well, I'm just expecting, I agree with what Terry said earlier, I'm expecting Hillary to be attacked constantly, and it's not just going to come
even
from
in the Democratic primaries.
Well, I think in the Democratic primaries, but she's going to get it from, you know, the Republicans are still going to be attacking her because they see her as a major threat, you know, if she gets through the primaries.
That's a given,
and they will be attacking her, and I think it's going to be ugly. You know, she brings out the worst in a lot of people.
What do you think, Michelle? Do you think it's going to be a nasty Democratic primary season here?
Oh, absolutely. I think the anti-war left, which strongly supports Obama, is not happy with Hillary Clinton's position. And I think that SNL parody underscores something, which is that even these, you know, liberal comedy writers in Hollywood and Manhattan are unhappy with the political disingenuousness and cynicism of Hillary Clinton. They don't buy it. They don't like her. And despite the fact that she seems to be the anointed frontrunner, there are not a lot of people who actually like this woman. So she has an uphill battle.
But in every poll, let's be fair, Michelle, in every poll taken among Democrats, she wins big.
Well, that's because up until now she had been seen as sort of like the presumptive front runner, and now that Obama is the new ice cream flavor of the month, you know, people might start thinking they have an alternative.
Lots of people like her, and the more they get to know her, the more they like her among Democrats, and so it's actually not true that people don't like her.
Did you watch that skit?
This is right, but Michelle, you really hit on something important. The far left doesn't like her, and of course the far left.
No, but 40% of Americans say they won't vote for her no matter what.
But they're right now.
Yeah, well, she has to get through the Democratic primary, and those people rule the roost.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think we can debate.
You know, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But let's get down to another thing that's going to really be important. Neither Obama and Senator Clinton, both senators, do not answer specific questions, Kirsten. They simply don't. It's all BS. You know it. Go to their website. The announcement, Hillary Clinton's announcement. Okay, now, they're going to have to, at some point, pony up on what the heck they're going to do with Iran, how they're going to handle very complicated geopolitical questions. Yes. So far, they have not done it. Neither of them.
And they will.
How
and they'll definitely. Because I know
maybe they'll just rope-a-dope their way.
No, they're not going to be able to do that because, first of all, they have to go through debates, and you have to answer questions in debates. You have no choice. And you know, and people are going to want answers. They're going to want to be able to distinguish between all these candidates. And by the way, there are a lot of other candidates besides Hillary.
Yeah, there are. And I like Richardson. I like a lot of these people. I think they're honest people. Michelle, I'm going to give you the last word. Don't savage the Democrats too much, Michelle. Just give me some wisdom.
Well, I agree with Kirsten that eventually these people will have to start answering questions. The honeymoon period will be over, and the days of People magazine coverage and Obama in swimsuits will be over, thank God.
All right, I hope so. And they got to come here, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Right here. Ladies, as always. In a moment.